Hello everyone! So we have another lesson for grade 9 math this is for the first quarter and it is based on milk. Okay, we have the module number 1, quadratic equations and inequalities. Okay, so dito sa lesson na to, focus tayo sa solving quadratic equations by completing the squares. So sa solving ng quadratic equations, meron tayong apat. Meron tayong extracting square roots, factoring, completing the square, at quadratic formula. Okay, so but this time, ang focus natin again is the completing the square. Okay, so bago tayo magpatuloy, so meron tayong mga ibang mathematics skills na kailangan nating pagtuunan ng pansin o kailangan nating i-recall which is may a-apply natin ito sa pag-solve ng quadratic equations by completing the squares. Okay, so the first one is perfect square trinomial. The second one is square of a binomial, which is napag-aralan na natin yan, no? Grade 8 tayo. Next, we have the addition property of equality. And then, we also need to recall your fraction on how to add, how to subtract, and how to multiply fraction. Okay. Kadalasan, marami pa sa atin ang hindi master ang fraction. Okay, next is square of a number. Ano bang square of a number? Let's say, for example, we have 3 square. 3 square equals, okay, so karamihan ang sagot sa 3 square is 6. Okay, so hindi po natin siya ita-times yung 3 at saka 2. Okay, so ang gagawin lang po natin doon, since we have 3 square, we multiply 3 2 times. Is equivalent to 3 times 3 equals 9. Okay, again, 3 square is equivalent to 3 times 3 equals 9. Another example, we have 5 square. 5 square is equivalent to 5 times 5. 5 times 5 equals 25. Okay, another one, we have 7 square. 7 square is 49. Okay, very good. Next, let's move on to the next one, which is the square roots. Okay, square roots. Let's say, for example, we have 25. Or square root of 25 is 5. Okay, again, square root of the perfect square 36. Square root of 36 is 6. Okay, so ilan lamang yan sa mga math skills na kailangan nating pag-aralan or recall at may apply sa solving ng quadratic equations by completing the square. Okay, let's move on. How to express perfect square trinomial to square of a binomial. Okay, pag sinabi nating perfect square trinomial, example, x squared plus 10x plus 25. Okay, meron tayong 3 terms kaya trinomial. So, ang characteristic ng perfect square trinomial, yung first term natin dapat perfect square. Yung last term natin dapat perfect square, which is correct. X squared is a perfect square, 25 is also a perfect square. And then, yung middle term natin, dapat twice siya ng product ng square root ng first term at saka square root ng last term. Square root ng first term natin dito is x, square root ng last term natin is 5. So, kung ito twice natin yun, the answer is 10x. Okay? So, if we're going to express this in a square of a binomial, the result is the square of x plus 5. Okay? So, para mas maintindihan natin, okay, we have an examples. Okay, so please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our videos. Thank you. Okay, so we have this activity. Express each of the following perfect square trinomial as a square of a binomial. Halimbawa yung kanina, x squared plus 10x plus 25. How do we express this trinomial to the square of a binomial? Okay? So since, again, this is perfect square trinomial, to find the square of a binomial, kukunin natin uli yung square root ng first term which is x squared, kukunin natin yung square root ng last term which is 25. Okay, square root of x squared is x. Square root ng 25 is 5. And then next, ito twice natin yung product ng x at saka ng 5. So 2 times x times 5 equals 10x. Okay, which is nag-match naman yung sagot natin. Okay, so ibig sabihin yung trinomial na yan is perfect square trinomial. Hindi lahat ng trinomial ay perfect square. Okay, kung yung middle term na nakuha natin, which is 2 times x times 5, okay, ay iba yung sagot at hindi nag-match doon sa middle term, ibig sabihin, hindi siya perfect square trinomial. Okay, so next, we have the x and 5. If we rewrite lang natin yung result, we have x plus 5. And then, close natin with parenthesis and then square. Okay? Now, the square of a binomial. So, remember that the square of a binomial is called a perfect square trinomial. Okay, so next, let's continue. Again, we have x squared plus 10x plus 25 equals the square of x plus 5. Okay, so that is perfect square trinomial, and this is square of a binomial. Okay, now, observe natin to. We have x squared minus 10x plus 25 equals the square of x minus 5. So, ano ang pinagkaiba ng dalawa? So, ang pinagkaiba ng trinomial natin, yung middle term ng first trinomial is positive, ang middle term ng second trinomial is negative. Okay, pagdating din sa result, sa square of a binomial niya, kung positive ang middle term, positive ang magiging binomial niyo. Okay, ang middle sign ng binomial. Kung negative ang middle term, negative ang middle sign ng binomial. Okay, so next, try your best. It's your turn. So, we have the number 1, x squared minus 12x plus 36. Number 2, x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals blank. Okay, so you're going to express the following perfect square trinomial to the square of a binomial. And number 3, we have x squared minus 3x plus 9 over 4. And number 4, we have x squared plus 12 over 5x plus 36 over 25. Okay, so, and this is the answer for the activity number 1. Okay, number 1, x squared minus 12x plus 36. The first step is to find the square root of the first term and find the square root of the last term. The square root of x squared is x and the square root of 36 is 6. And then, write x and 6. Then, now we have x minus 6. Okay, so bakit minus yung nasa middle sign ng x minus 6? Okay, minus yun kasi yung middle term ng trinomial natin is minus. Okay, so then enclose with parenthesis and write a square. So that is now your square of a binomial. Okay, next number 2, we have x squared plus 4x plus 4. First step is square root of the first term and square root of the last term. Square root of x squared is x, square root of 4 is 2. And then, we have the x and 2, then x plus 2, enclosed with parentheses, in the square. Okay, kikopyahin lang natin yung result. And then now, we have the square of a binomial. Okay, next, number 3. We have x squared minus 3x plus 9 over 4. 9 over 4 is a perfect square. Okay, so now, square root of the first term, x squared, square root of the last term, square root of 9 over 4. Now, the square root of x squared is x. The square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 4 is 2. So, that's why we have 3 over 2. Pareho nating ni-square root yung numerator at denominator. Okay, and then we're going to rewrite. Okay, we have now the square of x minus 3 over 2. And that is your square of a binomial. Next, how about number 4? Okay, so kung titingnan natin, mahirap gawin, pero hindi. Okay, so madali lang to. Kukunin natin yung square root ng first term, which is square root of x squared. Okay, and then square root of the last term, which is square root of 36 over square root of 25. So, both numerator and denominator is square root natin. Extract natin. Okay, square root of x squared is x. And then square root of 36 is 6. Square root of 25 is 5. So we have 6 over 5. And then now we have to copy x and 6 over 5. And then enclose with parentheses and then write square. And this is your square of a binomial. Okay, so since alam na natin kung paano mag-express ng perfect square trinomial to square of a binomial. So this time, okay, ready ka na sa activity number 2. Okay, so this is the direction. Determine a number that must be added to make each of the following a perfect square trinomial. So ano kaya i-add natin sa pangatlong term para maging perfect square trinomial? Okay, so recall muna natin to. X squared plus 10x plus 25. This is perfect square trinomial. Okay, we find the square root of the first term, square root of the last term, which is 25. Okay, the answer is x. Square root of 25 is 5. And then, okay, so yung result na nakuha natin doon sa in-extract natin na root sa first and the last term, i-rewrite lang natin. We have x plus 5. And then, enclosed with parentheses, square. So, ito na yung square of a binomial. Okay, now, in this activity, let's say for example, itong trinomial din yung gagamitin natin. Okay? So, ano yung nasa pangatlong term, yung blanco, para maging perfect square trinomial siya? Okay, since dito sa unang example ko, ang sagot ay 25. Okay? So, aalamin natin ngayon kung paano makuha ang 25 dito sa blanco na to. Okay. So, ang first step na gagawin natin, i-divide lang natin yung coefficient ng middle term sa 2, which is 10 divided by 2. 10 divided by 2 equals 5. And then, i-square lang natin yung 5. 5 square is equivalent to 5 times 5. 5 times 5 equals 25. So, yan yung ilalagay natin doon sa last term or sa third term. Okay, yun yung number na i-add natin para maging perfect square trinomial ang trinomial natin. Okay, so next, let's have another example. Number 2, x squared minus 12x plus, okay, blank. Ano yung nandito sa pangatlong term para maging perfect square trinomial? Again, divide by 2 yung middle term. Then we have negative 12 divided by 2. The answer is negative 6. Then, square natin yung negative 6. Negative 6 square is equal to 6 times 6, or negative 6 times negative 6. And the answer is positive 36. So, yan yung number na i-add natin sa third term para maging perfect square trinomial. Okay, next, how about number 3? X squared minus 3x plus blank. Okay, ano yung nasa pangatlong number para maging perfect square trinomial? Okay, so again, i-divide natin yung coefficient ng middle term na negative 3 sa 2. So, negative 3 divided by 2. Since hindi na natin pwedeng i-divide yung 3 at 2, dahil magkakaroon tayo ng mga decimals, okay, square na lang natin yung negative 3 over 2. Okay, square. And it is equivalent to negative 3 times 3 over 2 times 2. Okay, next, negative 3 times negative 3 equals 9. Over 2 times 2 equals 4. Okay, so yan yung idadagdag nating number para maging perfect square trinomial, which is 9 over 4. Okay, next. Okay, next. It's your turn. Try your best. Number 1, x squared plus 20x plus blank. Ano kayang ilalagay natin sa pangatlong term para maging perfect square trinomial? Number 2, x squared minus 16x plus blank. And number 3, x squared plus 12 over 5x plus blank. Okay, kung ayaw mo pang makita yung sagot, stay ka muna rito. Okay, pero kung gusto mo nang makita, eto na siya. Okay, so this is the answer for activity number 2. Number 1, x squared plus 20x plus blank. Again, divide natin yung 20 sa 2. 20 divided by 2. And then 20 divided by 2, the answer is 10. And then square lang natin yung 10. Then square is 10 times 10. The answer is 100. Yun yung pangatlong number o pangatlong term natin. Okay, yan yung number na i-add natin para maging perfect square trinomial. So, magiging x squared plus 20x plus 100. Next, number 2. X squared minus 16x plus blank. Ano kaya dito sa pangatlong term? Ano kaya i-add natin na number? Okay, so again, yung coefficient ng middle term which is negative 16 divided by 2. The answer is negative 8. And square lang natin yung negative 8. We have negative 8 square. And it is equivalent to negative 8 times negative 8. And the answer is positive 64. So, yung 64 na yan, yun yung i-add natin sa trinomial natin para maging perfect square trinomial. We have x squared minus 16x plus 64. Okay, next. How about number 3? X squared plus 12 over 5x plus blank. Ano yung nandito sa blank na yan para maging perfect square trinomial? Okay, so again, ang gagawin lang natin, divide by 2. So, paano? Okay, so 12 over 5 divided by 2. So, ang denominator ng whole number is always 1. Then, it is equal to 12 over 5. And then, kukunin natin yung reciprocal ng 2 over 1. Okay, reciprocal ng 2 over 1 is 1 over 2. And then, proceed tayo sa multiplication. Okay, ta-times na natin. Okay, so, isi-simplify natin since meron siyang common factor, yung 12 at saka yung 2. To simplify, okay, ang common factor nila is 2. Kaya 12 divided by 2 equals 6. Okay, so 2 divided by 2 is 1. So, therefore, 6 times 1 equals 6 and we have 5. Okay, so now we have 6 over 5. Next, i-square pa natin. Okay, so 6 over 5 and then square is equivalent to 6 times 6 over 5 times 5. 6 times 6 equals 36 over 5 times 5 equals 25. So, ang number na i-add natin para maging perfect square trinomial is 36 over 25. Okay, so yun yung mga concept na kailangan natin sa pag-solve ng quadratic equation by completing the square. Okay, now let's start on how to solve quadratic equations by completing the square. Okay? Completing the square, it involves transforming the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 into the form square of x minus h equals k, where k is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, we have an example number 1. Solve the quadratic equation x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0 by completing the square. Okay, so again, this is the trinomial x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay, and then, i-change or i-transfer natin yung constant doon sa right side. Tapos, yung may mga variable na sa left side lang siya ng equation. Okay? To transfer 6 to the other side, kailangan natin ng another concept ng math, which is the addition property of equality, which is kapag nag-add ka sa left side ng equation, mag-add ka rin doon sa right side ng equation. Okay? Kung ano yung in-add mo sa left, yun din yung i-add mo sa right. Okay? So, para ma-eliminate ko tong 6 na to, mag-add ako ng negative 6 para makakancel yan. Okay, so mag-add ako ng negative 6 dito sa left, mag-add din ako sa right. Okay, then x squared plus 5x plus 6 minus 6 is 0. And then, 0 minus 6 equals negative 6. So, yun yung tinatawag nating addition property of equality. Okay, so na-cancel na yung 6. And then now we have x squared plus 5x equals negative 6. Okay, now focus tayo dito ngayon sa x squared plus 5x. Okay, so gagawin natin siyang perfect square trinomial ang nasa left side ng equation. So again, para maging perfect square trinomial, okay, mag-a-add tayo ng isang number dun sa last term or yung pangatlong para sa pangatlong term. Okay? So again, divide lang natin yun sa 2. 5 divided by 2. And then, i-square lang natin. Okay? So magiging 5 times 5 over 2 times 2. And the answer is 25 over 4. Okay? So yun yung i-add natin doon sa trinomial natin para maging perfect square trinomial, which is 25 over 4. Okay, so now let's continue. We have x squared plus 5x. Ano yung ilalagay natin dyan para maging perfect square? So, which is kanina na-solve na natin, ang ilalagay natin ay 25 over 4. So, kung nag-add tayo ng 25 over 4 dito sa my left side, mag-add din tayo ng 25 over 4 doon sa right side. Okay, so para balance. So, that is the addition property of equality. Okay, next. Kukunin natin yung square root ng first term. Square root ng last term. Okay, so square root ng first term is x. Square root ng 25 is 5. And square root ng 4 is 2. Okay, so now we have x and 5 over 2. Express natin siya sa square of a binomial. Then now we have the square of x plus 5 over 2. Okay? So, next. How about the right side, which is negative 6 plus 25 over 4? So, kailangan nating i-simplify. To simplify, okay, so karamihan dito is nakakalimutan na kung paano mag-add ng fraction. Okay, so ipapakita ko kung paano ang solution or kung paano i-solve. So, negative 6 plus 25 over 4. Okay. So, since hindi sila pareho ng denominator, which is ang negative 6 is whole number, okay, ang denominator niyan is 1. Okay, ang LCD is 4. The least common denominator. So, again, the denominator of 6 is 1. So, i-divide ko lang yon. 4 divided by 1 is 4. Okay, times negative 6. Ta-times sa numerator. Okay, the next, 4 divided by 4 is 1. Then 1 times 25 is 25. Okay, so next, we multiply 4 times negative 6 is negative 24. Plus 25 all over the denominator 4. Okay, now negative 24 plus 25 equals 1. Okay, bakit 1? Okay, so sa rule ng addition ng integers, pag same sign, ina-add. Pag different sign, sinusubtract. Since different sign yan, isa-subtract natin. Kaya 25 minus 24 is 1. Okay, bakit positive? Kasi kukopyahin natin yung sign ng mas mataas na number. So, which is ang mas mataas na number is 25. So, that's why we have positive. Okay, over 4. So, yan yung i-add natin doon. 1 over 4. Okay, next. Square of x plus 5 over 2 equals 1 over 4. So, ang gagawin natin, extract natin yung roots ng left and right side ng equation. Okay, again, that is what we call the extracting the square root. So, is makakancel na yung square doon. So, we have now the x plus 5 over 2 equals, okay, the square root of 1 over 4. So, magkakaroon tayo ng dalawang value, which is plus and minus. Plus or minus. Okay, the square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 4 is 2. Okay, so magkakaroon tayo ng dalawang value sa result natin. Okay, so we have x plus 5 over 2 equals plus or minus 1 over 2. Okay, so mag-focus tayo dito ngayon. So, the first value is x plus 5 over 2 equals positive 1 half. Okay, the second one is x plus 5 over 2 equals negative 1 half. Pinaghiwalay na natin yung plus at saka yung minus. Next, solve natin tong una. X plus 5 over 2 equals 1 half. Okay, we have to eliminate 5 over 2 para ma-solve yung x. To eliminate o para matanggal yan, mag-a-add tayo ng negative 5 over 2 sa left and right ng equation. Okay, so next, 5 minus 5 is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. So we have x, makakancel na yun. So we have now the x equals 1 minus 5 is negative 4 over 2. Bakit 2? Okay, again, sa rule ng fraction, kapag pareho ang denominator, okay, i-add or isa-subtract natin ang numerator, kinakopy lang yung same denominator. Or, if we simplify negative 4 over 2, that is negative 2. Okay, so this is the first value of x, negative 2. Okay, next, let's have the second one. The x plus 5 over 2 equals negative 1 half. Okay, so para ma-eliminate yung 5 over 2, mag-a-add tayo both side ng equation ng negative 5 over 2. So that is the addition property of equality. Okay, so 5 over 2 minus 5 over 2 is cancel or 0. Then now we have x equals negative 6 over 2. Bakit negative 6 over 2? Okay, so tingnan muna natin yung fraction natin. Ang fraction natin is similar. Okay, magkapareho ang denominator. Pagka magkapareho ang denominator ng fraction, kinakopy lang natin yung denominator. And then, sa numerator, ina-add natin ang numerator. Or sinasubtract. Okay? Okay. And then, negative 1 plus negative 5. Okay? So, sa rule ng addition ng integers, pag same sign, ina-add natin yung numbers and then kinakopy yung common sign, which is, ang common sign dito is negative. So, 1 plus 5 equals 6. Okay, now, x equals negative 6 over 2. Simplify natin, negative 6 divided by 2, the answer is negative 3. So, ito yung pangalawang value ng x. Okay, again, we have two values of x. We have negative 3 and negative 2. Okay, next. The equation x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0 has two solutions. Okay, they are x equals negative 2 or x equals negative 3. Okay, next, example number 2. Solve the quadratic equation x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0 by completing the square. Okay, again, this is the trinomial, the perfect square trinomial. We're going to move the constant on the right side. So, yung negative 8, lalagay natin sa right side. May iwan yung may variable dito sa may left side. Ang gagawin natin, to eliminate negative 8 at mapunta dun sa kabilang side, sa right ng equation, okay, use addition property of equality, mag-a-add tayo ng 8 sa may left, and mag-a-add din tayo ng 8 sa may right side. Okay, so that is the addition property of equality. Okay, next, simplify. Negative 8 plus 8 is 0. So we have x squared minus 2x equals 0 plus 8 equals 8. Okay, so next, dito tayo mag-focus, x squared minus 2x plus, okay, so magdadagdag tayo ng another term para maging perfect square trinomial. Okay, so para madagdag natin yun, or negative 2 divided by 2 equals negative 1. Then, square lang natin yan, we have negative 1 times negative 1 equals positive 1. Okay, so yun yung idadagdag natin na number sa left and the right side ng equation. Okay, again, we have x squared minus 2x blank equals 8. It becomes x squared minus 2x. Since 1 ang nakuha natin kanina, yun yung idadagdag natin. Plus 1 sa left side, plus 1 sa right side. Again, that is addition property of equality. Okay, and then we express as the square of a binomial. Express natin yung nasa left side, yung perfect square trinomial natin as square of a binomial. To express, okay, kunin natin yung square root ng first term which is x square. Kunin natin yung square root ng last term which is 1. Square root ng x square root ng 1, okay, x square is x. Square root ng 1 is 1. Okay, kukopyahin lang natin yung x and 1. And then, square lang natin. Then, enclose with parentheses. Okay, note that yung middle term niya is negative. Kaya yung middle sign is negative. Okay, so meron na tayong square of a binomial sa my left side. Now, on the right side, i-add lang natin yung 8 at saka 1. 8 plus 1 equals 9. Okay, so yan na yung new equation natin. Next, x minus 1 square equals 9. Okay, so the next step is by extracting the square root ng left side at saka right side ng equation. Okay? And then, makakancel na yung 2. So now we have x minus 1 equals the square root of 9 is plus or minus 3. Okay, so magiging dalawa yung value ng x natin. Okay, so the first one is x minus 1 equals 3. Okay, to solve for x, kailangan ma-eliminate yung negative 1. To eliminate negative 1, mag-a-add tayo ng positive 1 both left and right side of the equation. So, magiging negative 1 plus 1 is 0. So, we have now x equals 3 plus 1 equals 4. So, the first value of x is 4, positive 4. Next, the other one is x minus 1 equals negative 3. Okay? Para ma-solve yung x, we eliminate negative 1 by adding 1 both left and right of the equation. And then, negative 1 plus 1, makakancel na yon. And then, negative 3 plus 1 equals negative 2. Bakit negative 2? Again, pag nag-a-add tayo ng integers, pag same sign, ina-add. Pag different sign, sinusubtract. Since different sign ito, isusubtract natin. 3 minus 1 equals 2. And then, copy the sign of the bigger number. So, the bigger number is negative 2. Okay, so the two values of x are x equals 4 and x negative 2. Again, the equation x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0 has two solutions. And we have x equals to negative 2 or x equals 4. Now, we have activity number 3. Find the solution of the following quadratic equations by completing the square. Number 1, x squared minus 4x plus 3 equals 0. Number 2, x squared plus 3x minus 10 equals 0. And number 3, x squared plus 9x plus 20 equals 0. Okay, so try your best. Good luck. That's all for now. So, kung ayaw mo makita agad yung sagot, stay ka muna sa slide na to. Ayan. So, after nito, eto na ang sagot. Okay, number 1, x equals 1 or x equals 3. Number 2, x equals negative 5 or x equals 2. And number 3, x equals negative 5 or x equals negative 4. Okay, congratulations! So, for more math video lessons, click nyo lang po or search nyo lang po yung Math-ish and then click playlist para sa mga compilations. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our videos. And for clarifications, corrections, or suggestions, okay, baka may mga corrections na nakita kayo, yan, pwede nyo pong i-comment ito below. Okay, open for suggestions and corrections. Thank you.